Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Aquifers and Fun? Something like that. And we've got our diversion system complete, as you guys probably saw at the end of the last episode, so I'm pretty excited about this. Hopefully it works as well as I think it will. The idea here is bad water is going to go down here and just run out that line and then go over here, and then it'll probably get up to here-ish and just allow the water to flow out this way. Theoretically, 2 is wide enough. Hopefully, we'll see. And then when it's clean water, it'll fill in. This will block off, and then it'll just dump out this side and keep going, and then it'll go out this way. I might need to put in something just to prevent it from overfilling, but honestly, I don't think I need to, because we've got all of this over here. Autosave, I swear you're going to give me a heart attack every time you do that. Anyway, so we've got that going for us. We have 2 sources of water coming into here, and I want to start moving on a system to fill this side back in, so that we can actually keep this irrigated. We can get some more of our foodstuffs running down here for the future. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time. That's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt, but theoretically, that should be nice for keeping all of this irrigated into perpetuity, or at least as long as we have water on this side. Now, that would probably require us to have some sort of large reservoir here and allow for the excess to spill out over here. So we maintain a large-ish amount of water in here, and then it backfills into this area, and then any excess goes out here. And theoretically, if you have a taller and deeper reservoir, then that means it doesn't evaporate nearly as fast as what we kind of figured out on the last playthrough of Timberborn that we did. But that's going to be a problem for us to solve much later on, when we have a much larger source of lumber, a much larger source of builders and so on to do such a massive project. That all being said, I do want to start working on this project today, but that requires us to have a little bit more in the way of production of the back end systems that we need in order to do so. So I think what we're going to do first is we're going to expand our bad water production line, and that in turn allows us to expand our explosive production. And I also need to tackle the one thing I mentioned a couple episodes ago, and that is getting into more of our geothermal vents so we can run that power over here. Now, that's going to be a bit of a pain to run that power all the way across here. And I think there was one more geothermal vent, like right here-ish. Where did it go? Right here. That's going to be such an ask to get all of that over. I don't know if 400 units of power is worth it to run that far, but this one's not nearly as far. Was there another geothermal vent on this side? I don't believe there was. We've just got the 2 that we haven't tapped into yet, but that's fine. So what we're going to do, we're going to tap into this. That'll give us another 400 units of power. That's going to be a good starting point, and then we can start stockpiling some of our goods to do stuff like turning on perpetual source of energy by capping off our bad water discharges. Now, that requires stockpiling a lot of gears, requires stockpiling a lot of explosives, and stockpiling a lot of metal blocks. And as you guys notice, when we kick things off, this is all we have left of our scrap metal. That's 398 units there sitting on tap. And then we've only got the 1 smelter, which takes 2 hours to produce 1, and that requires 2 pieces of scrap metal to go. So we've only got just under 200 units of metal available to us right now, even if we rip through or produce all of the scrap that we have on hand and then whatever's left in here. So we've got 60, so that's 120, 180, call that 240. Yeah, we're kind of running bingo on our scrap metal. Now we do have access to this over here, which is not too far away. And that's going to put us pretty close to that geothermal field that we're kind of wanting to get into anyway. So we might tackle that at the same time. And then we do have the capacity to actually get into probably a mine somewhere. There's a mine way over here. That's really far away. We don't have much in the way of mines, honestly. We've got 1, 2, 3 mines, I believe, is what I'm seeing on a cursory look through. So what we can do is start working towards our tubeway stations and setting up a way to tap into these efficient mines. Now, the efficient mines require sparkly planks as well as extract, so that's going to be a potential issue for us, or just sparkly planks, which is fine, but we don't have that much in the way of sparkly plank production right now. And obviously this guy's paused. We've got the tapper shack also paused, so we're not storing that much in the way of pine resin and so on and so forth. So we can, like I said, start working our way over here, tap into all of these ruins over here. That's going to be a fair amount of scrap metal for us, which will be helpful. And then tap into this geothermal field, which will provide us with a fair amount of juice that we are going to need. And apparently this one's not prioritized by haulers, and that is not conducive to anything that we need it to be doing. Additionally, we can start ripping out some of these other things like this deep water pump. That'll give us a little bit of real estate back. I want to leave the foresters in, and I kind of want to start ripping these guys out and probably moving our district center into a more fortuitous position or more reasonable position. But that is something for us to tackle later when we have this whole thing set up. Anyway, let us go ahead and click this button. Let's get the game back up and running, and we'll go ahead and start working our way through here. Now, the simplest way to go about doing this is, I don't know. Grab this. That's the lowest point. And this is not the lowest point. So we can go ahead and blast down right here. I want 2 points of, well, yeah. Yes? All right, let's go ahead and rip that down. Pull this up by 1, rip that down by 1 again. And then can I do this? I can. So let's not do that. And then let's keep working our way that way. Now, we shouldn't have too much of an issue doing all of that. Theoretically, we don't really need to run this like that, though. We can just go ahead and rip that out and just put regular explosives on top of that without any issue. I will go ahead and rip that out for now, just so he can keep pumping, which should be good. What are they already blasting? They've already started blasting? Holy Toledo, guys. You shouldn't already be doing that. That's fine. Let's go ahead and put this in. We'll just go ahead and do that now. We'll give that a max priority. Get that knocked out. They will work on that. How did they get... How are they... Oh, the stairs. I already have stairs in here. What am I on about? I am losing my mind. If it weren't attached, I promise it would be in the drink somewhere. We want to do that? Probably not like that. Let's just go ahead and put that in right there, and then put that in right there, and this will give them a little bit of an easier access point. I kind of want to drop this priority-wise because, again, as I said, we don't really have that much in the way of material available to us in the first place. So let's just go ahead and drop this down. We've already started ripping into it a fair amount, but I want to save some of this material. So we're going to do that. And I want to get over here and I want to start digging into more of this. So that means pulling up out right there, doing something along those lines, and we'll get another bad water pump in right there, and that will give us a fair amount of water to pull out. We will give this a priority bump. We should have the material still over here to hopefully get that in relatively quickly. We do have 2 spare beavers with nothing to do with their hands. Might as well just pump out what's left of this water here. There's no reason not to. And that'll be good. Now, one thing that we probably want to think about doing is not letting this water escape to this side, which means putting in a levee, or not levee, a sluice system in here, right? Right. We put in a sluice gate, or a couple sluices on this side. It's a one-way valve, which means that shouldn't push anywhere else, theoretically. At least in my mind, that's how that should work. We'll see if that's actually how that works here soon. I don't know, but let's see here. Extract's doing pretty good. Explosives are kind of at a standstill. This guy is working as fast as he can, but he's doesn't have much in the way of bad water. Maybe we can help out a tad bit by doing that. We don't really need to plus that up. Are you guys maxed out? You guys are maxed out. Y'all are also maxed out. We can plus up here. I don't need to do that necessarily because there's nobody in there. We can get coffee running again, I guess. I don't know why not. These guys haven't been used. They still have a little bit of extract in them. There's not much else I can really do to put anybody else back to work anywhere right now. We can check on our... Oh, that's right. We do need to start working our way this way as well. So the easiest way to tackle that is probably running from here over. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's line ourselves up like this. Where that goes, you go here, you go here, you go here. That puts us at that height. Then we want to... You don't need to be concerned about bad water coming in from there, so that should be fine. We can put ourselves down through here, and then maybe something like this. And this is probably a tad bit excessive. It is absolutely excessive, but it's fine. And then we put in another set of stairs right there. And now we connect all of this up with a path. Once we get this side in, that goes like that, there, and bada bing, bada boom. This puts us in a pretty good position over here. We need to make our way around that somehow. So we'll just have that get ripped out with this button. And then we can also just throw somebody in here to rip out the rest of these trees for no other reason than it's some lumber for us. There's no reason not to accept that. Honestly, we could probably just tell them not to do that. It'd take 10 seconds to get to that. And theoretically, that should be feasible. Now, we are doing pretty good on gears now. Gear production has caught up, which is pretty nice. I do need to expand our power production a tad bit because we are kind of hurting in that regard. Let's go ahead and throw in a couple more on this end. We'll give that a plus up. That's going to eat through more of our lumber, more of our gears, more of our metal blocks, but we need the power because we need to expand some more of our industry again. And I would like to get this unpaused soon-ish because, well, we're not doing that hot in the science production line anymore. Additionally, what we can do, since we have a little bit of room over here again, we can do something like this and like that. We can put in another set of shrubs here. I did want to unlock the lantern earlier. We'll unlock that for that much. We'll throw this in on this side. Right. Nope, not on top. That there, and put this here. That goes on that side, and then... Is that right? That's not right. We're trying to be symmetrical here, me. I know how to do these things, allegedly. So that goes there, that goes there. We are not symmetrical. We're trying to be a bit more, you know, nice with our stuff. Right? Right. Maybe. At least that's what I'm telling myself to help me sleep at night. For the most part. Okay, that can go there. This will be relatively low priority. But it will help with the overall happiness of our beavers, which is always a good thing. Anything that we can do to have a happy beaver. It's like the happy wife, happy life thing. It's happy beaver, happy everything, you know? So we might as well take advantage of this while we have the capacity to do so, right? Right. Right. The question is, where did our builders run off to? Because I have no idea what they're working on right now. We are slowly producing explosives. They are being consumed somewhere, though. What are they being consumed on? They are placing explosives down here. That is acceptable. Can I tear this out? Yes, I can. Go ahead and place that right there. We'll get back over there at some point. We can hit that so we can get water moving in there again, which would be beneficial. Then, yeah, they just need to tap in a few more pieces of explosives on that side, and then it'll be fine. That should not have consumed that much of their efforts. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, they were building these. That's where they were at. Okay, that's fine. That's acceptable. All right, we needed the power. Now we're... This was connected. Oh, these haven't been actually pushing power. Okay, that's fine. What is consuming juice right now? What is consuming juice right now? Something is running. Okay, whatever. Whatever. It's fine. I need not concern myself with that. I do want to come and tear those guys out at some point or another. But now is not the time to be concerned with that. I do need to get this moving again and probably get that moving again so that we can get more materials for all of our things. Oh yeah, that's right. They did add some foliage movement. That was, well, let's go look at something that's green instead of dej. That's pretty neat, you know, the wind's blowing, you know, that's pretty nice. Even our soybeans are looking pretty good, you know, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. We really need to up our food production, though. Like a lot. A lot. Like a lot. Can we hit that? That'd be great. Actually, you know what? Let's not hit that. Let's tear that out right there. I don't need this to be like that either. Why was I thinking that that needed to be like that? Let's go ahead and get this in. Oh. Why do I make this so much harder for myself than absolutely necessary, you know? Alright, that's fine. They'll work their way through that one way or the other. New well-being of 16. Let's go. We have a few injuries. That stinks, but yeah, lantern. Lantern plus up for entertainment. So that is good. Get everything on pause. Get these reconnected. We are on our way over here, so that is good. We can go ahead and rip this out, rip that out. You are mostly bored here soon, but for now, you're doing what you've been asked to do. That is glorious, and now I want to run this back over here. Then down here, and then somehow make our way downtown. Means doing something like that. Then we go ahead and tack on our geothermal engine, which requires a lot of logs and planks. We can put in a small thing of logs and a small thing of planks here. We'll give that a small bump. Hit this button, hit that obtain button there, and we'll also hit the prioritize by haulers. Now, I do want to unpause you, and I also would like to unpause you so we can get that running again. They did pull a lot of that bad tide or bad water out of there pretty quickly. Water is moving though, so we're filling this in quite nicely, which is amazing in its own way. That means that we'll have copious amounts of water for the foreseeable future. I do want to get these guys on pause because 4 of our water pumpers is not going to be enough for all of the stuffs that we need. That requires juice. Yeah, that requires water. That's fine. They'll get to it eventually. This does not need to be prioritized anymore. Neither does that. Neither does that. Neither does that. And that's already set. That's fine. Nothing to do within range. You're fired. Thank you for your patronage. Go ahead and delete that point. It's a good thing we didn't go down as far as I thought I was going to have to go down, you know, because I was about to put all of our beavers into some stinky poo-poo water. All right, we don't need no stinky poo-poo water, all right, all over our beavers? Not today. Sorry. I digress. Didn't realize how precariously we were sitting on a poo-cano over here. Good thing these blockages are here, otherwise we would be in a bad spot. Very bad spot indeed. Let's see here. All right. I think this is working as advertised. Great. Great. All the clean water is staying on this level and backflowing over here, going out this way and filling in this line down here, which is good. All this poo water is going off in that direction, so that is fantastic as planned. We are filling this in very nicely, which is exactly what we want to be doing. And I do want to unpause a few of these positions. Food, however, is becoming an issue for us. So, how do we rectify the food issue? All right. We have plenty of... Well, first off, what we need to be doing is storing a lot more of our foodstuffs. And that also means that we need to be fussing that all up priority-wise. And also doing something on this side for catching more of our corn and eggplants on this side. So we'll go ahead and store some more corn and more of our eggplants on this side. I don't want to plant up here because I don't have a quick way to divert the Badtide quite yet. That is going to be a thing that will have to get accomplished at some point relatively soon. And I should probably max this out priority-wise because these were placed a long time ago, which means that they're going to get built much sooner than anything else. They're not over there yet because I haven't connected their way over there, which it has been now. We do have access to this over here, so that is good. When all of this gets ripped out, we can start working our way towards that problem set, which should be fine. We do have a bunch of hungry beavers running around, so they shouldn't be hungry. I do want this one max prioritized just because that one's corn rations and we have copious amounts of corn floating around. We have a Badtide running up. That is not good. Well, we get to test our system, I suppose. Yeah, we get to test our system. Theoretically, it works. Right? This should be closed. That should be open. Close above 1% contamination. Close below 1% contamination. Yes, that should be how that works. And this will close off, meaning even if it does fill up a little bit more, it will not reach the point where the water doesn't have an escape route. Water should be able to push through, out, and over this way. So that is good to see. This side should be relatively simple. That's already closed above, and that should be closed below. That is as expected. I do want to plus up a little bit more water. We'll be burning a few more of our beavers from hauling, which stinks, but it's kind of required. What is taking so long for this? That needs 7 more logs. And there should be logs like right underneath it. Metal blocks. That's other food stuff. All right, that's done. Corn rations. You make all of the corn rations. Make them faster. Make them harder. Make them stronger. We have so much corn. You are... yeah, I should have built this a long time ago. Why I didn't? I don't know. All right. So food's moving hopefully in a better way right now. That is good. That is awesome. Planks are kind of in a bad spot right now, but that's fine. I do want to get in here and probably throw in another food factory. How are we doing on canola oil? Not the best. Let's change you over to canola oil. I've got the Badwater large tank right here. There's no reason to have the small tank right next to it. That'll be a good place to store all of that. Let's go ahead and tack in another food factory right here. That should not be too taxing on all of our food stuffs. 18, so that's good. And you should be able to keep moving again. Canola seeds, we should probably increase our storage capacity on our canola seeds sooner rather than later. Yeah. This is fine. This is fine. Water's moving to the 2.0 range, so that's good. Bad water is moving into the 700 range slowly. We have 69 builders or 69 workers walking around. Nice. Nice. And fermented soybeans. Okay, we do need to actually up our... Alright, cassava. Yeah, we're not doing the best in that realm. We're not pulling water out of here right now. You should be closing soon. You're closed. Good. Okay. Do I need this down here? Don't think I do. This filled up really nicely, so that is awesome to see. Do I have the beaver population to actually do that? None of you are getting filled up. So I'm going to go ahead and rip all of you out. We're going to reconnect all that. Going to replant all of these medical beds around here. And probably don't want those two built. That should be fine. We'll have... Okay, we have 2 injuries. That's okay. What are we building right now? Nothing much. Have they started ripping into this down here? Nope, because I keep giving them more things to build. This did work, though. You don't need to be running because you're burning power unnecessarily. You don't need to be running either. This is working as advertised, which is glorious. Okay, look, I can do smart things, guys. A little bit of poo water on this side, running out that way. It's all going down and through here. Glorious and brilliant and amazing, and I am very happy with how that turned out. We could do the same type of deal over here. Just drop it off and have it run out this way, and that gives us a little bit of water to store up here. I'm not too concerned with that right now. The majority of our preponderance of our water is getting stored in this reservoir over here, which we are pulling out, which is fine. I need to fix the food problem, though. So we need to tackle that a bit more aggressively than we have been. And you guys are all bored out of your minds, so you're all fired. That means I've got 7 positions to get farmhouses in. We can go ahead and tackle that. Actually, let's go ahead and do something silly. Do a little something silly. 1, 2, 3, 6. Yes. Something like that. Then something like this. Should have enough explosives to knock that out. Then, do they get all of these built? No, they have not. What are we building right now, guys? What are we building right now? I don't know. Actually, what are we building right now? Where are they at? They're building this. What is that waiting on? Somebody to come slap it. That's fine. We're not building that anymore. That's fine. We need more water storage as well. So let's go ahead and tackle that real quick. You are water and you are supply. We are going to copy settings. Get that across those 2 boards right there. And then I want to probably get in here and pump more of this water out. Then we can stop being reliant on these systems over here. Seriously, where are they at? Okay. Eggplants. Yeah, they'll make their way over. We'll get somebody to help you out. I should probably put a couple storage things in here to help out with all of that stuff. Sure. You can be eggplant and you can be corn. Then we can get rid of those 2 and then put in a large industrial pile here for lumber. That'll be good. You can help out because there's a lot of lumber there that needs to be tackled. I need to increase this side a little bit. And how are we doing on all this? Okay, so that stuff's going in. We have an injured beaver, just fine. We can go ahead and tear this out. I do want to give this a priority bump. We can move that over and let us move that. You go. We're going to pause because they're going to lose their mind. District center goes here. Yes. Okay. Plus you guys back up. Everything's yeah, they're all going to be freaking out for half of a second while they try to figure out where they live, where they work. It's fine. Nothing to be concerned about there, you know. Everything's going to be okay. Oh, I messed this up. Messed that up. You put that right there and that right there, and then pull that back there, and then do the same thing over here. That goes right there. That goes right there. Give that a priority bump again. That fixed up. That'll be okay. New happiness score, probably eggplant rations. It is. Booyah, that's beautiful. Food's still not in the best of spots, and we are consuming our berries now, which is not good. Where are we at? Yeah, cassava. Like, everything is not keeping up with the demand. The demand signal is not being met. So get this in here, like that. We do medium warehouses. You're going to be cassava, and you're going to be... no. Yeah, your kohlrabi, your cassava. Then we toss in farmhouse here. And a farmhouse here. And then we plant kohlrabi. No, cassava. There. And then we plant... what do we say? Cassava and kohlrabi. Yeah, kohlrabi. What am I thinking? Okay, that should be good. And since we're not pulling out of this, that should be okay. I do want to plus this up priority-wise. We also need to actually give them a pathway into those positions, so that'll be good. Those guys are going to already come back in and fill all of those in for us relatively simply. That is nice. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. And place this down here. I don't know if this is really saving us anything by doing this, but it looks nice, sort of. I don't think it really is saving us anything, honestly, but like I said, it looks nice. So there's that. Okay. All right. Okay. And you go out to there, you go out to there. We need this to be a priority. Don't know where our builders are at right now. Okay, they've already got those in. Means they're building the farmhouses here shortly. And then we also need to tack on... probably not soybean. We'll hold off on the soybean and everything. You guys will be the harvesters. You guys will be the planters. Probably pull that down by 1. Pull you down by 1. And you'll be the harvesters on this side. That should be good enough. Now, this needs to be prioritized. that is going to need a lot of attention. And I probably should tackle this from this side, because all of that water is just going to backfill into there, and that's going to become a problem for us. We're going to pause for a second. We're going to pause those two real quick. And then have them work this from this side. Go ahead and grab me that. I want to garner access like this, and like this, and then through there. Or probably not, right underneath that pipe that I need to actually do stuff with. Let's go ahead and grab that. Make sure I'm not blocking that anymore. I'm not. Good. Great. Give this a max priority. And well, no, hold up. Foodstuffs, mangroves, can't really do much with that right now. We could do a contamination barrier around this. Yes, we'll unlock that. And once we have all of this set up, then in theory, we can come back in and plant mangroves down here. Do a bunch of thirsty and hungry beavers. Water is being consumed pretty much as fast as it's being pulled, if not more so. Just not good. And I should probably help them out a tad bit with all of these deals, right? So extract, explosives, and we need planks on this side as well. And that means that guy right there, we're going to give this a plus up. Okay. We've got plenty of water available to us. It's just a matter of getting it all. That's the main issue. We have a bunch of kohlrabi moving again, so food's in a better-ish position than it was before. Cassava, not so much, but we're moving in the positive direction, in a positive direction. I want to get corn in here, and then I want to get eggplants here. Yes. And then maybe I rip out our kohlrabi back here and cassava back here, and this is just all soybean. I'm not sure if I want to do that. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to do that. It's fine for now. Can you guys finish this? Like, it takes 10 seconds to put those things in. That's all I'm asking for, you know? Don't you know? Great. I like it. It'll take a minute for them to do all of those things. A hot minute, honestly. And we'll go ahead and grab this path. Pull this back here. That'll be good. Oh, that's cool. They added the like the permanent down. Oh, that's neat. These little structures here, that's permanent, like down to the lowest tier, and the fact that they've got those in as a sign that is there is pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. All right. We have a few beavers running around with nothing to do with their hands. Everything is taking a priority, is consuming a lot of our beavers' time, which is not the greatest. I do want to give this a priority obtain, and hopefully that makes our builders' lives a tad bit easier. And that should, in theory, make things move a little bit better. Food is still not in the best of spots. We are consuming it as fast as we're producing it, but we do have a backlog of eggplants and corn now. We have food factories that are moving a little bit, not the greatest, but they are moving. Give those two a plus up. That shouldn't take too much out of their day to get that knocked out. And this is going to dry up here soon, so that is not good. No deep water pump fluid dump. Is this necessary? Probably not. Am I going to do it? Yes. Go ahead and put a small storage tank right there. Or a medium storage tank right there. And go and give both of those or all three of those max priority. I want to keep this irrigated because that's where all our food stuff is coming from. So if we're going to be running that, then we can probably go ahead and start running soybeans back here. And here. And here. And all the way to there. We could do canola, or do we want to do more cassava? Or corn? Canola. No, not canola. Eggplant? Corn. Corn. I have a love-hate relationship with corn. You don't need to be there anymore. This was soybeans? Soybeans. And that means that you don't need to be there either, which means I can put soybeans out to here, and that means I can clear out this path right here, and then I can put these in right here. You can be an obtain button. I don't need to prioritize that, but I do need to get over here and get our water procurement system going a little bit better than it is. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have torn this out, or these out, because I had copious amounts of water pumps available to me, and having those directly connected to this side means I can pull it out a little bit faster. That's fine. It is what it is. How are we doing down here? Got a few more left to go in. We can unpause this side. Maybe tackling it from both sides will make it go a little bit faster. We are dumping water in. That's all going to expire. All of our soybeans are going to expire. They expire way too fast, you know. Come on. Somebody save the soybeans. Save the cheerleaders. Whew. All right. It barely saved them. Barely saved it. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Last few, and then we'll get to see everything start to do a little how you doing. It'll be pretty neat. It should. Yeah, that's the lowest level, right? Yeah. There we go. All right. You guys are no longer necessary. I'm going to leave you in for now. Just in case. But this should stop filling up soonish. Soonish. Please stop filling up. Please? Please stop. It's not going to stop. Okay. Alrighty then. I should have known that was going to happen. Should have known that that was going to happen. Okay. So, that needs to go. That needs to go. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think that this was going to happen, but I didn't think appropriately. That needs to go in now. Because that just happened. That's fine, you know, everything's fine. I should have thought about that. I should have thought about that. How do I need. Yeah, we need to cap this off too. So this needs to go on. No, give me you. Thank you. There we go. And this needs to go on right here. Max priority. Otherwise, that's going to keep flooding. I'm not upset about, right? Like that's good. We do need to plus up our water production though, because we are hurting for water. Okay. Okay, come on. Come on. And I need to close above downstream depth of 0.222. Yeah. Now this is going to keep backfilling until this gets capped off. They really got to speed this up. The water's moving in a positive direction again. We've got not much time left to actually pull the rest of this out, but we're working on it. Okay, that's all that matters. This is moving. All the clean water's doing clean water things. We're filling this in. I should have not been a goober. We could pump this water out. We probably should pump that water out. So let's do that. I'll get a couple of these in here. They're not gonna be able to pull much out in the grand scheme of things, but it's water that's available to us. And until this stops backfilling, which it's not going to until they get that last impermeable flooring in, then it's not going to do much for us, you know? And this, of course, isn't pumping any water out right now because it's 0.8 is the max end of that. This is going to keep going. Yeah, this is fine. Sort of. We lost all that foodstuffs that we were producing, though, which is not fine. That's okay. All right. We are capped off. I should have thought about that a long time ago. And the fact that I didn't think about that kind of irks me. Kind of irks me. But it's okay. You know, we learned our lesson. Not really. We have observed a lesson. And I really wish that these actually filled in when they overflowed. But that's fine, you know, everything's fine. Everything's fine. We get all this water pumped out. We kind of need the water anyway, so I'm not too upset by this. We're pumping out a fair amount. We're almost back to 1,000. That's going to add us up a little bit more, which would be even better. This is going to be a problem because all those are going to be flooded for the foreseeable future. Well, that's, I don't know. No, those don't actually count as filled blocks. Okay, you are... None of you are pumping. Okay, let's see here. Let's go ahead and rip that out. Okay, we're pumping that water out of here. It's a little bit something. It's not much, but it's something. All right, that's all that really matters. All that really matters. Now, another plan or another thing that I had in mind is kind of wanted to do something similar to this, but kind of with our water seep here. Have a water seep tower. Have, well, sorry, it'd be like a mix of this, and just having the poo water go off in some direction, probably punt out over here, just like this over here. Which I'm not opposed to that idea. Honestly, I think it'd be pretty neat. But I've been yapping for way too long. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put in a series of large pumps here. And we're going to say goodbye. And we'll see you all on the next episode of I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. By that I mean, I can't believe that I did all the gibberish things and flooded my entire farmstead over here that I worked so heavily to get rocking and rolling. I can't believe it happened, though, because I do the goober things, and the goober thing is what leads to terrible decision-making like that. Anyway, I digress. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, I would appreciate a like button hit. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I would appreciate that as well. And we'll catch you all in the next episode of I Don't Know What to Do With My Hands. At least that's what I tell myself to help me sleep at night. Anyway, appreciate you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for rocking in the free world with me and for being you. We'll catch you all on the next episode of well, I already said the I don't know what to do with my hands joke. So there's that. You guys, I'm out. See ya.